Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger's Florals. I wanted to walk you through our St. Francis garden a little bit today. I'm going to do a bunch of seedling plantings in here, and I want to show you what John has done recently. This garden is quickly becoming my favorite right now. John, he went up to a nursery up north of here and collected a whole bunch of perennials. He got everything from lady's mantle to astilbe and heuchera and hostas, a bunch of different things, and a whole lot of them went into this garden. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what he did. Oh, all right, this side of this garden is pretty nearly shade most of the year. You can see this is the south side, and it's pretty mostly trees, and then we planted these arborvitaes here to try and block whatever sun may come through. And in here, it's so pretty right now. We have a whole bunch of brand new plants. John went and got a couple more daylilies, you can see there, and some GM. They like a lot of sun, but they'll be all right there. He planted all these new heuchera and Virginia. This is a euonymus that's been there a couple of years. It took a hard hit this winter, but it's still doing good. We have the daylilies and the bleeding hearts, which are always, I love them so much. They'll disappear later on the season, but they look really pretty right now. Astilbe, this astilbe, and that one, these were all here last year, planted last year, and this bleeding heart. But this is where John did a whole bunch of work. This whole section, he planted about, well, half of these hellebore are brand new. The few of them, the ones that are kind of sad looking and tattered, those were planted last year, but all these little baby ones are all new this year. And the dogs, partly why they're kind of tattered. This whole thing, it gets morning sun now, but like I said, in the afternoon with these trees and all of those trees, it stays pretty well shaded. So all these new hellebores and a bunch of new ferns here and there dotted in, and a whole bunch of hostas. Look at that. Those variegated ones are gotta be my favorite. This is a new one. We did put down a whole bunch of slug bait. This little guy right here, and this one, these guys. Can you just imagine when these are all full grown, how great this whole thing is gonna look? I can't wait. This one was here, and yeah, the rest of the garden, all of this out here is all full sun, and this is kind of dappled half and half. And over the years, hopefully, this jasmine, and I have a rose on the other side, those will fill in and shade this area a lot more. So my plan for today, if Winston stays out of it, all these little seedlings, this is rose campion. I started them early in the spring, and I want to plant them all right in here. This is a hydrangea. This gets a decent amount of sun in the morning, but it stays pretty shaded in the afternoon. And rose campion, from what I've read, likes to be in the shade, in the edges of the forest. So I figured this was a good place to be, in amongst the wild roses. Look at this. It's so cool. So we'll put the rose campion there, and then over here we also have, see this jasmine, it's still alive, but it's struggling. But I have a whole bunch of extra sweet peas. So I think I'm gonna plant a bunch of these all along the bottom of this arbor, and they can grow up this year. They're just annuals, but they'll grow up and hopefully be pretty here. Otherwise they were going in the compost anyway. Don't mind my terrible plastic chair, and then this area underneath of this really cool arbor John built. This is gonna be a patio, probably this summer. Okay, Then I want to show you the other seedlings that I plan to put out here. I started all of this from seed early spring. But let's start with this one. Some of these are going to go here, some are going to go out in the field. But I have a whole bunch of bee balm. Wild bergamot is the type. I want to put some of that. I have some bee balm right here in this garden, and I might put one or two more. And the rest I think I might want to put out in the cottage garden at the other end. We also have a bunch of echinacea. So this batch here is Cheyenne Spirit. You can see that they've been pretty neglected. And then I have a few of these green twisters. I'm pretty excited to put those in here. This whole garden, like I said, is full sun. And these tall little bits are they're Canterbury bells. They're gonna bloom out here in a little while and then they'll go away. And then these perennials, the echinacea, they can grow up and be summer color out here. Because this direction, sorry if my camera's bouncing around. This direction, the only thing that's really colorful right now is the bleeding hearts, and those flowers are gonna fade away pretty quick. So I wanted to have some extra color along here. And then we also have some tangerine, some orangey colored yarrow down there at the end. And I think these colors will go well with that and fill in this space. I also have, let's see, we have a bunch of leftover stock and snapdragons that I'd like to put along in here in this garden, just because we have a lot of daylilies and a lot of low growing things, so a flower spike here and there will look nice, I think. I also have delphinium, cherry brandy. One of John's favorite flowers is a delphinium, and we don't have any over here. So in and among the echinacea, I think I'm gonna pop at least a couple of those in there, and then the rest I'll put out in the field. Again, more stock. And then we actually grew from seed some ladies mantle. I'm gonna put those in here and hope that they take. I also have columbine. Columbine is one of my favorite flowers. It really is. It's so kind of magical the way the flowers dance around on the top of them. This one is called the McCanna Giants Mix. I want to put a few of those out here. They tend to like a little bit of shade, so maybe I'll put them at the far end of this part of the garden. That way it'll be protected from the afternoon sun. The rest of the columbine that we have seems to do well like that. But I just love them, and they're just something magical that blooms in the spring, along with a few other things that we have in here. Yeah, and the colors are, I'm really not sure. It's a mix, so whichever ones took, those are the colors we're gonna get. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, just set up and do some of the planting, and then I'll show you where everything ended up in the end. All right, guys, we got them all in. All these perennials. The only one that I'm worried about is the sweet peas, just because that ground is so hard. They may or may not. They may or may not take really well. I didn't spend a whole lot of time just because they were extras. I had no intentions of putting them there, but if they grow, awesome. If they don't, I'll be all right. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what we did. And Winston, if you hear the tractor out there, that's just John. Okay, we have the extras, the rose campion. This is the bee balm and the green twister echinacea. I want to put those out in these gardens over here. But over here, we did put these little guys. These are ladies' mantle. And then all of these are the Cherokee sunset. Sorry, get my shadow out of the way. Cherokee sunset echinacea. We have a lot of those kind of yellow colors. This is the terracotta yarrow, and then we have the cypress and the euonymus, and then this red colored smoke bush. The only thing blue over here is these grasses, but this blend of echinacea is, you'll have red and orange and yellow and pink and white, so I'm hoping that these colors all go really nicely right there. And then right over here, right up next to these gorgeous lamb's ear, is the delphiniums that we planted. There's a few of them in here, little guys right there, and right here, and right here. Just a few. They're a Cherokee, or not a Cherokee, a cherry blossom pink color, so hopefully there's another one right there. Hopefully they'll look good with these purple daylilies and then the pink rose. And then along over here, we planted a bunch of snapdragons. You see that little guy right there? And this one, oops, sorry, and that one. There's a bunch of them scattered throughout here. The bee balm, this is a perennial bee balm. These are a red color. So I figured the red and it's the bronze with white snapdragons would look good. And then over here we put a couple of columbine that hopefully will get enough shade to be happy. Over here is all of the rose campion. They're all over the place. I hope they fill in over the next couple years. I did scatter a couple in here so that it would blend in with the rest of it. And then over here is where I planted the sweet peas. These are just, they're gonna be so pretty. I hope that they take. Like I said, the ground here is really, really hard, so I'm not sure if it's gonna make it or not. The last spot is where all the stock went in. And the last bit, like I said, is these little stock that I put in and amongst. This is the leucogyne foliage, but that's about done. I'm gonna end up cutting it back real quick. And then all these little stalks should hopefully grow up and bloom. All right, guys, like I said at the beginning, this garden is turning into my absolute favorite, at least for right now. All the shade plants, especially when we get into summer, when it's super hot and you just want a place to go retreat, this will be the place. But also along the front side of it where it's all full sun, I'm excited to keep getting perennials put in there and adding color. There's a lot of silvery blue foliage, which I love, but having the delphinium with the flower spikes and the bee balm in there, and even just the annual snapdragons, those add so much to this garden. And then the other side where the echinacea is going to go, I can't wait to show you guys this garden in July and August when everything's in full bloom. It should be pretty spectacular. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's so much going on. The garden's changing every week, just like everybody else is in this time of year, spring going into summer. I will take you along in a couple weeks. We'll do a full garden tour. We'll see if there's any changes with these little seedlings. Hopefully some of them make it that are questionable right now. And yeah, I hope you like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.